From the far reaches of space to the darkest places on Earth, join us as we explore the haunted, the cryptid, the creepy, and more. Exposing Reality Radio presents the Spectral Wolfpack Show, your paranormal nightmare, with your host, Alexander Bobolinsky.
What is up, Wolfpack? We made it. I barely made it tonight because the universe was seeming to be working against me today. And everywhere we went, people seemed to be just moving at a snail's pace. I literally just walked in the door about 3 minutes ago. So somehow I think I did everything right that I had to do to set this show up. We'll find out later, of course. But huge thanks to everyone who comes and listens tonight. We've got a good show lined up. Before we get into that, I wanted to tell you guys about, if you go to our Madhouse, a paranormal documentary page, you'll see that we are actually doing an event in Ohio. It's going to be the premiere, which will be about 14 days before the actual release of the film. It's going to be at Madison Seminary, which is an amazing location, seriously crazy, haunted, and like one of my favorite locations I've ever been. And we're going to be doing a premiere of our film and an investigation that night. So anyone who actually wants to come watch the film early, investigate, and we'll probably have some other cool things to do there as well, and just hang out with us all night, and it's going to be crazy. So that's going on. February 9th, we've got the Alabama Paranormal and Bigfoot Conference, which should be really awesome. It's at the Sterling Castle in Shelby, Alabama. I've never been there, but it looks really cool. And then other than that, we got, of course, the podcast every Wednesday. And then on Wednesday the 30th, I'll actually be on someone else's show. So just keep an eye out on Facebook to see that. Tomorrow night at 7 Central, I will be on DATSO, which I believe is Deeper Alabama Truth-Seeking Organization is what that stands for. And we're going to be talking about Bigfoot and everything. He's going to be kind of interviewing me. So anyway, let's get into the show tonight. Tonight, we've got my friends, Tarac Chronicles. They started in Birmingham, Alabama as a local urbex video series. Tarac's goal is to explore the lost and forgotten of Alabama and soon to be other states. While urbex is a large portion, both Rooster and Kangaroo are into investigating the unknown on the paranormal side as well. So let's bring them right in. Sergeant Rooster and Captain Kangaroo, what's up, boys?
What's happening, man? How you doing, dude?
We made it.
Yeah, it's been a busy day for the both of us, man. But man, we appreciate you having us. To be honest with you, man, it's the first time we're doing this, so yeah, it's great to be here.
Thanks, man. I'm glad you guys could do this, and we're gonna kick back now. Have just a fun little talk. What I wanted to ask first, let's start with this. Back before you guys started all this channel, way back when you guys were even kids, did you guys ever have any memorable paranormal experiences or any weird experiences like that when you were younger, I guess?
I'm going to let Kangaroo start this one off, man.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Actually, I'm about to say, good question. My elementary school, that was about the first time I ever ran into any paranormal feelings or, anything like that. My school burned down, Barrett Elementary, and a lot of students died in the fire. So we had a lot of, paranormal things that happened around our school, and a lot of people didn't believe it. However, me, I was different about it. So, yeah, I've had a couple of paranormal experiences at an early age. So I think that kind of drew me into it.
Me personally, I'll be perfectly honest with you, man. I did not experience any paranormal stuff until we started Tarac Chronicles. So it's kind of a new field for me. A little bit. It's a little nerve-wracking from time to time, I have to be honest, but it's a little fun. I'll have to say it's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand, and we'll definitely go into some of the stuff we experienced at Caraway a little bit later, but I didn't. Yeah, dude. I didn't know about that school burning down. I mean, that's pretty wild. That must have been. How did you handle that as a kid and everything?
Me being the person that I am, I mean, it was kind of awesome to me. I don't know, man. I deal well with dread and all that, as you can see on camera.
Hey,
I have to keep Rooster pushing.
I understand. I'm actually really similar, and I definitely don't look at death the same way as a lot of other people do. And it's
absolutely,
it's like, I guess it could be kind of I'm trying to think of the right word. Bizarre. I don't know the way that I handle it.
Say it's more of a finish line than a closed door.
Yeah, some people have a different way of reacting to everything. What I feel like, and I mean that's no more weird than me than the next thing that's going on. So everybody's got their own way of dealing with it, you know.
Definitely. So, what when you guys started getting into this urban exploring and everything, what kind of got you guys started and got you guys wanting to do that?
Well, we always, because we've been best friends for 12 years, something like that. Back when we just got out of high school, and we always were the type that apparently our parents couldn't keep us out of trouble, more or less. We were always jumping around doing stuff. We've always wanted to do this, but we just kind of never really had the ability, opportunity, anything like that. Till last year in 2018, we just finally started talking about it, watching videos on YouTube and actually serious contemplating it. And that was March last year, 2018, something like that. Yeah. And then we shot our first video May of last year, and it was kind of jumbled a little bit. We didn't know what the heck we were doing, to be honest with you, Alex.
We put that one in the vault.
Yeah, that was probably not going to be released at all. But it was after that, it just kind of turned us on to, we're like, dude, we have to keep doing this. This is fun for us.
Yeah, and that's one thing a lot of people, who don't make videos or don't edit, it's not easy to do, and the more you do it, you learn new tricks and everything, but definitely it's time consuming. There's lots to learn, and I've got a few videos that I haven't put out either because of that. But
yeah, I'll be honest with you, dude. I've lost, since we've done this, I've lost about 45 pounds doing what we're doing, because apparently Kangaroo won't let me just walk around. He makes me jump stuff.
Yeah, walking around is boring.
My fat self was walking around a whole lot. He made me, dude, I think the scariest thing for me was probably the Kmart shopping center that we got on the roof, and he was using it like a freaking trampoline all the time. Honestly, I really felt scared. I thought that, okay, this is the point where Rooster's going to die, because roosters don't, fly. They flutter pretty well, but we don't fly at all.
Exactly, and that brings me into my next question about how you guys got the names Sergeant Rooster and Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, that's all Darrin, man. That's
man.
all it is.
Okay, so when we first, got the idea to start doing the urbex stuff, I wanted us to stand out. Of course, everybody has their, dreadful names, Dark this and Devil that and everything else. So I figured, why not bring some hilarity to it? And we country boys, so
straight from Alabama.
I figured Rooster and Kangaroo, we start doing animals, it just be something hilarious to it. So everybody who comes on our show, they get an animal name.
They get an animal name. Lieutenant Mighty Eagle.
Yeah,
we've got a couple of them. It's two
traditions.
It works out with the. Oh wait, what?
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I was going to say it works out with the Spectral Wolf collaboration too. So.
Oh, it absolutely does, man. Rooster, actually, he gave me Rooster. I never picked it out, man. I just went by Ray. That's literally what everybody called me. That's my government name. And then he told me about this TV show. I can't remember.
The Ranch.
Yeah, The Ranch with Ashton Kutcher. His friend Hyde was named as Rooster, and he called me one day. He's like, dude, you have to watch this. You do a lot of Rooster stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. I'm like, well, shit, I agree with it. And the next thing you know, I became Rooster. And it just stuck, man. It's a great name. I love it.
It's been fun ever since.
Definitely, it definitely sticks. I really dig it. I like the names. And so Tarac Chronicles, I guess you want to tell us what that stands for. I know, but just for the viewers.
Yeah, Tarac Chronicles means the adventures of Rooster and Kangaroo. We get a lot of flack because Kangaroo is not spelled correctly. We know this, trust me.
I don't want to spell it correctly.
We're not correct people, so we just flew with it.
I like that too, and I like how, just how it, Captain Kangaroo. I mean, with that spelling, and everything. I think it's badass.
That's all Darrin too. The name, like literally, he spent like 2 days for us coming up with names. We actually got censored by Facebook, though, man. We were trying to come up with some kind of a way to, what's it called, man? Yeah, you tell me.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't want to get anybody in trouble or anything, but when we first started this, we figured if we, started calling the people that followed us, rat heads, like Tarac, rat heads. However, we didn't know it was a company out there called Racket. So they took our video down and hit us with all these red flags.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I got a notification. He messaged me at like 2 o'clock in the morning. My phone goes off. I wake up and call him, and he's like, dude, we're about to get banned. We just started this. I had no clue what to do. So I get on there, and sure enough, we've got like 4 messages from Facebook telling us we broke all of these rules. I'm like, this is not a great way to start my day, to be honest. And like, they took it down. They deleted our video. Unfortunately, we had to reshoot the video because Rooster might have possibly kind of sort of potentially deleted the original footage on accident. So, yeah.
It got a little ugly, Al.
Yeah.
I was upset, man. A lot of feathers were coming out that day.
I bet, man. Yeah, Facebook and YouTube can have those frustrating moments where it seems like everything's going wrong with, like, or if you get copyright claims or just any kind of stuff reported. Yeah, so then... Oh, wait, what?
No, I was just saying that red tape gets a little thick.
Yeah, seriously, it really does. I've had issues, too, with some stuff that I've tried in different pages and everything. So after you guys started exploring the abandoned, I think, one of my favorite things about that is just the whole adventure behind exploring the abandoned and the experiences you have and, like,
oh, most definitely
seeing these places. What would you say some of your favorite places you've been in? Then we can.
I was honestly ready for this, man. I was talking to Darrin about this today. I'm so ready for favorite places. Oh man, I think honestly one of my favorites the Crybaby House.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Do you remember that? Us posting that one?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that was. Well, I'm going to apologize after I'm done with this story. You'll know why here in a second. The Crybaby House, I got a phone call from a buddy of mine one day who told me he was the owner or like one of the family members owners of this property, dude. And the story that he gave me was 100% just off the wall, crazy as hell. Literally, it was built, like, if I remember correctly, early 70s maybe. One family lived in it. It was a dad, a mom, and 4 of their kids, and it was really a small house. I honestly don't know how they fit everybody in there, but apparently like 10, 15 years into living in the house, the dad goes crazy. He pulls his gun, he kills his wife first, and then turns around and killed all 4 of his kids. He goes into the bathroom and kills himself. After that, they just shut it down. The family didn't want to sell it anywhere or to anybody. So they just let it sit there and rot, man. When I found out about it, we got permission to at least go in and check it out. And you talk about scared, man. Again, one of our first ones is by far one of my favorite ones just because of the history behind it. I'm a huge history buff when it comes to these sort of things, crimes, and just anything to do with the unknown that not everybody knows 100% of the answers. And that was probably one of my favorite places right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Favorite place? It's been a lot of Chronicles. But, oh man, I have to say probably one of my favorite places right now is Memorial Mound.
That's one of our favorite. I mean, our most popular videos right now too.
Memorial Mound was awesome. It took everything because we thought we could get into the place, just drive up into it, and they blocked it off with all these barricades and stuff. We found the service road on the side, drove through these bushes and trees, parked, walked through the woods. This was 10:30 at night, so it was great, man.
Except for the part where we got lost in the woods partially.
Yeah. Oh, side note, if anybody goes to Memorial Mound, there's a bat in there with a face.
Oh, my God.
We got chased. We got chased for 20 minutes. We had to cut filming because the bat wouldn't leave us alone.
It was the meanest bat I've ever met.
I haven't seen that bat yet when I'm there, but,
Well, God save you, Alex, if you ever go back there and look, because I swear he was after us.
I probably heard it. There's been some sounds I've heard in there that freaked me out. The last time I was there, I went just during the day by myself, and I was in that room where they removed all the bodies, and something slid across the floor or something. And that one started freaking me out because I started getting some weird stuff through the spirit box, and that place is definitely creepy as hell.
It's a trick. Yeah,
it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. I definitely will go back, but I'm gonna be wearing crosses or I don't know, saying a prayer while I'm walking. It was really crazy, dude.
And for anyone in the chat who doesn't know about Memorial Mound, it's basically this abandoned funeral home. It was like an underground funeral home. It was this guy Clyde Booth had this idea. Similar to mausoleums and underground catacombs, but it was a little smaller. And it was in Bessemer, Alabama. And then after he passed away and everything, it was left abandoned, ransacked. And then I think in 2015, they kind of removed all the bodies from it. And there's still coffins, though. So
they are definitely still there. Trust us.
Decomp and all.
Yeah. Seriously.
That was the thing that threw me off the most is just I did not expect, when we saw the coffins, I was like, oh, this is how our day's gonna go. I hope nothing else is here while we're at it. And then Darrin or Kangaroo pulls into one of the caskets, and he's like, dude, there's still hair and decomposition. And we cut footage, and I may or may not have freaked out a little bit because I was like, bro, if anything is here that comes out, we're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's crazy to see that that's still there. I don't know why they didn't remove them. I'm kind of glad they didn't because it's makes for a really creepy atmosphere and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a dreadful treasure.
Yeah, seriously.
I like you said that, dreadful treasure.
Yeah, that place, man. Last time I was there, the side with the newer coffins that were for sale. There's that little curtain room in the back on the left.
I know what you're talking about.
The curtains were closed last time. The time before they were open, but I felt like someone was back there. For some reason, I kept looking back there, you can see in the footage, but I never actually go back in there. And I feel like I kept hearing these sounds and things. I don't know, man. That place, it's always been, even when it was locked up for so long, it was always had a draw. I had a draw to it. Same with Caraway.
I can understand that. Darrin's just about more at home than anything when it comes to the creepiest places. I'm more on watch because I've got a fear of clowns, so I'm always looking through the corner and hopefully not seeing it pop out of the sewer drain pipes or anything.
Yeah. I remember when we were at Caraway Hospital, we were talking about the clowns. I think.
That's his thing, man.
You see where I'm coming from? Look, Rooster doesn't care about a lot of things. Clowns, we don't play on that, Alex. So just FYI, if we bring anybody out there and there's a clown, you're getting one of two things: either Rooster's going hard or he's running home. There's no walking. I'm gonna put my boots on and we're running.
Man, I gotta say, if we had seen a clown in that hospital that night, that would have been terrifying. I mean, I have a creepy clown collection, but that would have been really scary. I would
have been upset. I would have been upset. I may or may not have used the bathroom on myself. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there.
There's been plenty of times where I said to my chat, I'm like, like if I'm even to the spirits, I'll be like, if you do this, I will literally crap my pants right now. So far,
I was thinking that on a couple of occasions.
So what did you guys think when we were at Caraway Hospital? We had some weird things happen.
Absolutely, it happened.
One of the weirdest things to me was that sulfur smell that kind of came up on us and then it left. And
that threw me off 100%. I'd never had anything like that. So thanks for the experience, Alex.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, the spirit box, that was my first time with a spirit box. So the whole I'm a demon, I'm a jinn thing, that blew my mind.
Yeah, we were getting
I didn't know what to think about it.
We were getting some weird stuff, and that place, for some reason, whatever's in there can make you feel things. I felt pure terror in there. I remember when we were down and we had just gotten that I'm a demon, I started getting it was hard to breathe and I was feeling really anxious and stuff.
Yeah, man, that feeling of dread.
Yeah, that dread. Yeah, you're right.
It's heavy. The lower you get in that hospital, the heavier it gets.
And it honestly seems like that hospital never ends, because I was the idiot that climbed in that huge hole. If you guys ever, out there, whoever's listening, you want to go to it, I think, what is it, part 2, I climbed in that hole where there's a huge basement that went on forever. I was stupid enough to climb down there, but only for 2 minutes, and then I got up because I didn't want the demon to come get me.
Imagine if the clown or a demon was down there and
Alex, don't do that to me, man. Don't do that. Oh my God. Okay, if we go back, I'm hired security for Tarac. That is on the list to do.
Yep. Yeah, we need to. We still need to find the morgue.
Absolutely.
We still I wonder what is underwater in there too. Some of that.
That's me. I want to know how many floors are sunken, bruh.
Because there has to be at least 2 floors. Honestly, Alex, you know a lot more people than we do. We got to find somebody with scuba gear. I'm willing to be potentially the guinea pig. Go down there. I don't know, dude. That was upsetting and it threw me off.
Mm-hmm.
But by far, that was taller than Darrin, and he's 6'18" or something like that.
Yeah, seriously, and imagine scuba diving down there and finding like we said, maybe someone put a body down there or something, or who knows? Because that one water was weird, coloring and just everything, the smells and it's just
Nope, I'm coming back out the water like Flipper.
Yeah,
Alex, there's certain things that deserve a whole lot of leave alone.
Yeah,
and I think that's one of them.
Yeah, seriously, and I couldn't believe all the bodily fluids we were finding everywhere.
Oh my God, you talking about the crap stains, dude? That, honestly, some people just don't know how to go. I mean, I was taught at a very young age how to go to the bathroom, and I don't know if these people missed a couple of school lessons, but it was everywhere, man. I think every building we at least ran into one floor that was the what is it? The communal bathroom on the entire floor.
Vials, syringes, and bodily fluids.
Yeah, that one room where the machine was, where we found both bodily fluids and vials. Everybody let's just get in there and mix it up.
Yeah, that was insane. And around that room, wasn't that where you saw some a shadow move by in front of us, or you saw something and got spooked? I remember.
Yeah, that was that shadow we saw at the end of the hallway.
Yeah,
I was something moved down there, bro.
Because I had been seeing
but there
stuff
was no
too.
Sound.
Yeah.
We crawled through that footage, man, because Darrin, as soon as we got done, we got back to the house. I mean, I know we were there for 6-7 hours, but whenever we were done and I got back home, broke the footage down to go through it, he told me roundabouts what section of the building. So, Alex, I kid you not, I went through 4 or 5 hours. I got no sound. I think I saw what he was talking about, but it was so quick, your eye has to catch it, and then it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw it real time, and it definitely, I remember I had thought I saw something down in that same area, when we first got in there, But
yeah, you had mentioned that, like maybe because it was almost like you said, it was following you because you saw it initially, and then when we would go to different sections, it's almost like you saw the same thing doing the same thing. I don't know what you want to call it. It's I don't know all the correct terminology, a spectre or a ghost or an orb or whichever, but you definitely, in between us changing batteries out on our cameras, like dang near every section of the building that we went to, it was literally the same thing where something was following you.
yeah. And it, like we said, it was making us feel that dread. I mean, it was just whatever's there's something nasty there. I think maybe someone either conjured or summoned something there that's not supposed to be there, or maybe it took refuge there because of all the people that might have died there because it was a hospital. I don't know, but I think something pretty dark is there, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm about to say, it's probably, it done changed hands so many times. So many people have owned the building and done nothing with it. So anything could have happened in that place.
Yeah, exactly. And for anyone listening, we're talking about Caraway Hospital, which I believe has been closed since around 2008, I think. And I think it actually closed kind of near Halloween, which I thought was interesting. I could be wrong about that, but and there's all kinds of little buildings all around that place that are abandoned. I wonder if it's like built on some type of cursed land or something, because even that elementary school is abandoned, and
yep,
that whole street is
still
just
haven't gone there.
That place is pretty cool.
It is, absolutely,
man. So how did you guys like High Hill Church?
I'm gonna kick this off because look, man. So I've got. Can we do shout outs on here, man?
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to somebody. Okay, so I've got a really good friend of mine. She's actually a coworker, Kim. Hi. I'm doing this for you as far as the shout out goes. She actually gave me the information because we had never heard of it. And to be honest with you, the first video that I found on YouTube was your video. And we went through it, and I called Darrin, and I was like, dude, I think we need to do this. I think we need to make the drive. I think it's going to be worth it. And we went out there, and I was blown away just because the church was right there by the cemetery, first off, and then they had that little, I don't know if you want to call it a barn or a shed or something like that, had the two graves that were inside of that. That kind of threw me off a little bit, but the inside, like, I mean, obviously people graffitied it or whatever, but definitely crazy because we actually found voodoo dolls in a toolbox outside on one of the concrete table that's out there.
Yeah.
I honestly, I was probably stupid enough because again, it was very early on in the filming stages, and Darrin kind of dared me. I just basically took the dolls out and threw them in the woods because I was really freaked out by it. And how was it? After that, we just got really kind of a sense of, like, we needed to go, but we didn't really listen to that feeling.
Yeah, and I know you are not a big fan of dolls either. So
okay, I really respect that you have a doll collection, man. I mean, it's to each his own. But Alex, bro, I love you. I'm not coming to your house unless you put them in cases or something with, I don't know, you say a little Bible scripture or something. But to touch on the paranormal, High Hill was my first paranormal experience outside of the voodoo dolls. Again, the same coworker Kim, after we had posted the video, she contacted me and told me at the 9-10 minute markers when I messaged you, we actually had our very first voice on the footage saying what I can only make out is "Hey guys" to some. That's what it sounds like to me.
I remember that, and it was like kind of like a woman's voice, right?
Yeah. When she did that, honestly, my jaw dropped. I listened to it probably 15, 20 times. I was like, I think now's a good time to go to the bathroom before anything else happens.
Yeah, seriously. And like you said about that place, that little weird barn in the middle of the cemetery with the graves inside, That always gave me the heebie-jeebies, so to speak, for some reason. I don't know what's up with that little house. It's just weird. And then someone brought up a good point in the chat. They said that you may have freed the dolls, or if there's any negative energy attached to them. I mean, it's because if you throw them into the woods, that could even like ground them. You know, kind of earthly grounding for the dolls. I don't know. Maybe it didn't do anything.
That scares me a little bit, to be perfectly honest with you. That is awesome. I never thought about that, dude. So maybe that's why maybe we've gotten a lot more paranormal stuff as far as, because we had a lot of video footage at one point. Because I know Darrin actually experienced something that I will witness to. He rarely talks about through this whole ordeal. We had a lot of video footage. Like, you could tell that our cameras were blurring a lot, and at one point, both of our cameras turned off. Like, we could not do anything for probably about, 5-10 minutes, something like that. Like, nothing would turn on, and then all of a sudden, as soon as we walked outside, everything came back on.
Wow, that's insane. And I want to state real quick, that was Jen Rogue that said that about the dolls. I always call her someone for some reason, but I meant to say her name as a shout out to.
Well, what's her name?
That's Jen Rogue.
Jen, thank you for that. I will definitely not put Rooster will not put his feathers on any more dolls. In a sense, we're not going to touch those.
Dolls are fine.
Those are not.
I can always take them for you, and I do have one in a glass case that came from a pretty dark place. It's been.
Is it anything like the Annabelle doll?
You know, you could say it's you know, when we have done sessions with it, because I always like to do experiments with different objects that are reportedly haunted,
right?
Which, you know, doesn't necessarily. A lot of people think it doesn't mean that anything's like trapped inside of it, but it might just have like an attachment to it, or, you know, come and visit the doll. Like, let's say someone liked their doll and they passed away and they still come and visit it. I mean, no one knows for sure, though. It's all theory and everything. So, you know, we do tests. With this specific doll, you know, it's believed that it has ties to a certain demon, Malik. And so, yeah, we get that name sometimes when doing sessions with it. Some of the things that happened, like when my friend first found the doll in the house where people died of overdoses and things like that, he actually stepped on he almost slipped on this little tag from like a toy, and it says magic on it, but the J is like an L. It like looks like an L. So, you know, was that supposed to say Malik or what? I don't know. It was just some weird stuff was going on with that doll. But, you know, I still have it, and I still get that name sometimes too, though. So.
Well, this is even more reason for me not to come to your house, Alex. I'll take you to dinner, man. We can talk about this, but I'm not coming to your house, man.
Hey, Kangaroo will come hot through.
Yeah, you need to come see it. We're finally getting it in order to where, like, me and Brittany feel comfortable, like, having people come in and look. Because, you know, it was like, since we're still moving in and everything, it's just been a lot. But we're finally getting it in order. And my room is pretty much like how I want it. It's like pretty much done, and
it's a man's man.
I was about to say, well, junky or clean, you still got a badass house.
Thank you.
You really do, man. It looks really cool. I like how it looks from the outside, for real.
We have some experiences here too, like hearing voices and seeing shadows, similar to stuff we were, you know, that happens at some of these places we go. What did you guys think about the developmental hospital? I forget the name of it. We'll keep the name on the DL since it's kind of like an untouched treasure, you know. Like,
yeah, actually, man, we went back to the developmental center here
about a month ago.
Yeah, and they have locked it down like Fort Knox. Have you been lately?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, actually, we were driving around that area, and you know, Darrin's obviously healing from his wreck back on Thanksgiving, so we've been on a hiatus. We drove by there, and Darrin was like, dude, we have to go by and check it out. They've got metal chain link fences. They've got black tarps blocking the visibility from it. Like, we were lucky to get in there when we did, even though maybe potentially, possibly, kind of, sort of, I may have planned it completely incorrectly, and we might have got trapped in and had to call certain law enforcement officials to come let us out. They were cool, though. They were extremely cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember they came up when I was there, too, and they were totally nice to me, too. They were just kind of wondering what I was doing near the school and everything, and I was just like, I just told them that I heard there was an abandoned place, and I was just walking around, and they didn't really, like, I didn't tell them I was going to the abandoned place. I just told them I'd heard there was one up here. And
oh, yeah, they asked us while we were like in there, and we basically told them that I had some truck issues, I think, and that's how they were pretty cool with it.
Yeah. Have you guys been to the UAB center, or the medical professionals building, the one by that lake?
Man, I could not find it. I've been meaning to get in touch with you to do that, but I honestly could not find it on anywhere, like on maps kind of a deal, because typically we like to plan in advance to see what would be the easiest way to get in, get out, and not cause a whole lot of trouble in the process. And honestly, Alex, I couldn't find anything to do with that, and I was a little disappointed, to be honest. But obviously, I think you actually were going to Tennessee, and then you went up north to do Mothman, which, by the way, we watched those videos, which were pretty cool. And to be honest with you, just got put on backlog, man.
Hey, I understand. And I mean, it's not a huge place, but it's worth checking out. And it is kind of hard to find, though, especially now that there used to be this gate that was like knocked down, so it was easy to be like, oh, there it is. But now they've changed it, and it's really like if you don't know the exact driveway to get there, and now you have to walk all the way up the drive. So, it's not too far, but it is up there. The first time I went there, I found all these animal bones and stuff. That was pretty cool. But
do I smell a collaboration maybe in the future?
I'm thinking either there or we hit Old Bryce, because if you guys haven't hit that yet,
dude, that's honestly on our future hits is going to Bryce. I got a buddy of mine named Philip who swears to me he wants to go to Bryce, but he's like, Ray, we have to do it during the daytime. He's like, y'all are crazy. Because he's actually subscribed to your channel too. I got him to subscribe, and he's listened to some of your stuff. He's like, Ray, I don't know what y'all do. I don't know what Alex does, but y'all are crazy. And I'm not doing it at night. He's a really good guy, but he'll go during the daytime. So we may have to do daytime Tarac adventures with Philip, and then collaboration with Alex when we get to do the cool stuff.
Hey, I'm fine with that. I mean, we could do both too, like, because I love that place, and definitely have caught some weird stuff there. There's also this, the one smokestack building, like the roof like completely fell off and collapsed, which is insane.
Boy, that's pretty. Yeah, I was gonna say glad you weren't in there.
Yeah.
I don't think you have a podcast show if that happened that way.
Seriously, and it happened. I don't know if you've seen the video where there was like 2 loud slams that happened to me while I was there.
Yeah.
And it was in that same room, and like right where I was standing, like it's just a big pile of debris. So I would have, if I was there when it happened, I probably would have been standing right there. It's like, dang. There's some underwater stuff there too as well.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there's like an outside basement that's flooded there, but everything else is accessible. And then you got the old folks home right beside it, which is like honestly my favorite part. It's like just creepier. Like
it really is, man. I literally, when we first started this, Darrin was the one to bring up Bryce. He had all the research done, but right around that time, we had already had a bunch of stuff planned. We could not go in October because that's Halloween, and apparently police scour that area because if everybody wanted to go. And then obviously Darrin had his wreck, and then after that, we were just like, we'll get it when Darrin heals up. It's on the 2019 list. I can promise you that.
Oh yeah, and I mean we had the holidays and everything. I know I've been like insanely busy, and I haven't even been uploading as much as I was because of all this stuff going on. But we'll definitely in the next couple months, we'll have to hit some stuff together for sure.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about some of the encounters with like people that you guys have had urban exploring, because you guys have had some good ones.
Absolutely, man. I'm so excited for this conversation.
Man, we've run into some characters on our chronicles, to say the least. But
they would not want to be a part of Tarac. Let me just say that.
Yeah, I would say we've run into people at Caraway on the 6th floor. If you're ever at Caraway, go visit. It's a floor full of people. Trust me.
That's a little nerve-wracking.
It was. It's dogs and everything. Trust me.
Dogs and everything, everybody. If you don't hear anything else, dogs and everybody are on the 6th floor.
Didn't you guys find like a little like meth lab up there or something too?
We don't know if it was a meth lab or a bathroom.
No, screw it. I'm calling it. I honestly believe it was a meth lab. We took 2 steps in, and our buddy Trung Kim, I'm gonna shout you out, dude. Trung actually was like, "This looks kind of creepy." I poked my head. I'm like, "Let's move away from here." There was tubes, a bunch of Milo's tea jugs or milk jugs, whatever. There was a bunch of them just all over the place, and it looked like somebody was doing something they were not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I've heard that certain gangs use Caraway for stuff like that too, and that I usually don't run into people. I remember that one night, I think Kangaroo saw that dude sleeping outside when we opened that one door.
Dude, unfortunately, that was not caught on camera, but Kangaroo, take it away on that one. I wasn't there.
That was after we had got all our footage. We were done, basically, and we were trying to get our ride out. But yeah, at the top of the stairs, it was just a guy, just nice and cozy on the concrete. At least I hope he was sleeping,
Yeah.
If there was anything else, we didn't stick around to find out.
Yeah, I just kind of turned tail and ran.
Remember when we found?
We were in the burn unit.
Remember when we found that shirt that looked like someone had been stabbed or something? Like it looked like dried blood on it.
Yeah, the one that Darrin kind of yelled at me because I almost picked up without gloves.
Yeah, and I mean, there was that weird, like, stain, or it was like a puddle of something on the floor in that other room next to it that looked like blood. I mean, it was just...
No, dude, it looked like that was in the makeshift bank or something like that, or like the vault room or whatever they had. No, yeah. I honestly, to this day, I couldn't tell you. It looked like blood, so I'm going to call it like I see it. I don't know what that was. It was definitely freaky as all get out.
Because I remember we looked up at the ceiling to make sure it wasn't dripping down or anything, and it wasn't. And it was just like, that looks like a little pile of blood, like all dried. And it was. That's the place.
Part of me wanted to hit the ceiling and see if there was something up there, but Alex, I saw the blood. Like that's a whole lot of nope right there.
Seriously, what about that? Where was that one place you guys found that crazy, like that guy had all the bottles set up as like an alarm system?
Oh, yeah, okay.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was the manufacturing facility. There was no name on it. I'll give credit where credit's due. Kangaroo spotted that. It was a dude we got to go see. So that was the first spot we hit. Everything was fine. It was a great spot. Obviously, if we swung around the crane stuff, whatever it is, and then Kangaroo spotted from a good ways away. There was an actual police motorcycle that was broke down. Really fun. And then we go to this back corner where he had saw a couple of vehicles, and we just thought, okay, we'll just go take a look at that. And as we got to the end of it, we both kind of looked at each other and was like, that's a house. And to this day, Kangaroo still calls me stupid because, as you can see in the footage, I did kind of I want it publicly known. I didn't snoop through homeless man. If you're listening, guy that's living here, if you're listening, I did not go through your stuff. I did take a look. See, it was craftsmanship right there, Alex. It was on cinder blocks, tarps, and he had like what was it, man? The bottles.
The bottle system, yeah. It looked like an alarm system set up around his house with bottles. Like if you walk through there at nighttime, you knock one over, he might jump out and tomahawk you or something.
Seriously, it was like some next level like crazy shit. And I mean, some of this abandoned stuff, reminds me a lot of like post-apocalyptic and like, like Fallout type stuff. And
it really does, man. And that's, I've told Darrin that on many occasions, like, this is what it's going to look like when the world ends. Oh, okay. Well, we're getting a head start on this. We know what to do. We found that Ford Bronco. It was a big old school SUV. And again, it looked like somebody was staying in there. After that, we said our goodbyes. And we got out of there because there was no telling when they left, when they're going to come back, that type of a deal. And we honestly, I don't think we even said it in there. We almost got busted on that venture, man. As soon as we walked out, 2 SUVs pulled up and started questioning us as far as what we were doing there.
Yeah, it's boarded up now too.
Wow.
Yeah, we drove by there. It's completely shut up completely. So I think we're the first and the only ones to get access to actually get footage on the inside.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I love about this stuff too, or like what we do, sometimes it's against the law. I understand that, some people really frown upon that, but we are documenting like some places here that might not be there the next day. Like, I've been to a few places that have been demolished, and now some of my videos are some of the only ones out there of the inside. So like, I think it's important what we do. It's a risk.
Absolutely. And me and Darrin were having this conversation just a couple of days ago. Obviously there's risk involved, running into actual people, running into animals, and the occasional law enforcement officer.
Yep.
But
it's worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Our main goal to this entire thing, if nothing else, is the lost and forgotten. Like, how many times have people driven by, like, I wonder what's in there, I wonder what it looks like? Well, they don't have to, because of people like you, people like me and Kangaroo that are going in there, and maybe potentially for the last time, and getting raw footage as far as how it looks, what's going on. And then, we don't touch anything, we don't wreck anything at all. I'll apologize now in our earlier footage. I might have been a little bit eccentric, to say the least, which I've publicly apologized for on our channel multiple times, because we did learn, we got a little bit of backlash. I know not everybody's going to like what we do, even what you do, or what everybody does, but yeah, if we, the way I feel and the way Kangaroo feels, if we don't do it, it's just going to be forgotten, and it's just going to sit there and rot away and never be remembered.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, like, as far as like Caraway, I remember they tried to hit me up. I actually had permission to go in there back when the last guy owned it, and the new owners tried to call me, and like, they tried to say they were going to have me arrested for trespassing and all this stuff. And I was like, I just told them straight up. I was like, I had permission to go in there from, I forget the guy's name, but I had permission from him. And they're like, well, he doesn't own it anymore. And I was like, look, you have something really dark in Caraway. I like told him this. They didn't, of course, like believe what I was saying.
Right.
But I was like, how about you let me come back in there? And they were like, that made them like really mad. but then I just blocked them, and they haven't done, like, they've never been able to do anything. But like, I don't know. I was trying to help them. I was trying to tell them, like, I was trying to warn them that they probably won't ever be able to do anything with it because of that.
You're absolutely right. That's why they ain't got rid of the building, man. There's something in there. There's something real dark in there.
Yeah, I think like that. Wait, what?
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, that whole strip is just, like, something's up.
No, it's definitely crazy. That's kind of crazy as far as them doing that, man. I did, not Darrin, I'd forgotten to tell Kangaroo on this one, but I was actually listening to the news. It was probably about a month and a half ago. It was a good minute, but it was on the news talking about they were going to try to transition it into like potentially a hotel / apartment complex or something on that sort, turn it into like something, a theme park to generate revenue for Birmingham, which I don't think is necessarily a bad idea, but when they bulldoze it, nobody else is going to have the opportunities like we had to go in there and see what actually it looks like now. And if you go back, we did a lot of studying on it. if you go back and look at just how many people have gotten the chance to get in there, you could tell the changes over just a couple of years, how it went from pristine to just degraded to where it is now.
Yeah, exactly. It's wild, and it's going to take them a long time to transition that. It's. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. It's going to be a big task, but.
I don't. Maybe we'll get about, 6 or 7 more adventures in there.
And also, whatever they do put there will probably be extremely haunted as well.
Yep, it sure will. Tenants are not going to stay like they might. You know what, Alex? Let them do that, because then they're going to call the spectral wolf pack in, and you're going to generate a lot of fees just off of that. So just let them do what they want to do, man.
Yeah, I'll let them. If that's what they want to do, then they're going to do it. So tell us, you guys had some experiences at the Inslee Ironworks recently, right?
Oh man, yeah, that was a good one. I'll let you start off on this, man. Well, actually, no, hold on. So when we got there, man, and I'll tell you this much, we got a good bit off camera, of course, because it always happens when you're off camera. We were changing batteries out in the very first video, in the very first warehouse that we were in. Kangaroo had to change his battery on the GoPro, so I had to pull out my battery stuff and charge my camera up. While we were doing that, the whole time I was telling Kangaroo, dude, it's really creepy, and I'm getting a bad vibe out of here. And all of a sudden, I hear just this quick, high pitch, maybe 5 seconds or less, just a girl screaming. Wow. And then it just cut out, and like, Kangaroo, we got to put the cameras back on to try to catch this. And then we put the cameras on. That was it. Like, it freaked me out to the point where I was on clown duty at that point, because I didn't know what was going to happen. And I think Darrin did some research afterwards, or Kangaroo, I'm sorry, did some research afterwards on it, and this is actually what we had found out.
Yeah, so I mean, when we went to Inslee Ironworks, I got a tip that, people died on site, but I found out later that in the 1800s when it was built, most of the crew was prisoners. I had no idea about that, and over 60 prisoners died on their yard. So the dread that we were feeling and the voices that we heard, man, it's probably plenty more to pick up. So I'm looking forward to going back.
You definitely have to go back with us on that one.
Yeah, we got to hit that one, definitely. Like, I bet we'd have some crazy stuff go down.
Absolutely, bro. We got to do that one at nighttime.
Yeah. That would be...
Faces, so.
That would be intense. I've been hearing about some possible old mine heads and stuff too that we could try to find and check out.
That sounds good.
And then,
Alex, do you have any differentiations on bringing Depends diapers? Just saying, if we do this, man, I got to be prepared in my situation.
We can all have some on just in case. You never know.
You know what? I like the way you're thinking. You're a smart man, Alex.
That way we're all safe. Also, there's a few houses around here in Bessemer that I've been wanting to check out that we'll have to we can go in together, because I don't, like, none of my friends are really into this except for like you guys and of course my friends from out of state. So like we'll definitely have to get together for more once Kangaroo's arm heals up.
I told him to just go ahead and get a robot arm. I mean, I offered. I was like, look, it's already messed up. Let me just go ahead and cut it off and like one of the movies, put a robot arm in there. But apparently, I don't have the skills and the necessary time to pull that off. So we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way.
Chris was wondering, how is the arm healing up, by the way?
I got a couple more weeks left, but I'm probably going to start recording this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, we're feeling the itch on that, man. We have not. I think it's almost been 2 months since we posted a video,
and I am losing my mind.
I bet. I understand.
I'm gaining weight too. I just want to throw it out there.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I've been doing some Bigfoot videos lately, and so I've been getting a lot of walking out in the woods. I'm trying to get back in shape myself.
Been enjoying your videos. Trust and believe that.
Thank you.
I do have a question for you, man, and I know you've been asking us questions, but I actually have a legitimate question. Where are you at with the red eyes, man?
That was creepy as shit.
That by far, yeah, just creepy as shit, Alex. Okay, because as soon as I saw the kangaroo, get on the computer right now, and you need to look at this, and we have no explanation for it at all. I mean, where are you at on that, man? I have to ask if you made any progress.
That one is actually not very far from my house. It's like there's like a couple hundred acres over just a couple miles down from my house, and I just go kind of in the woods back there. And you know, it's a place that, like I've said before on other shows and things like that it's not a place I expected to find, that I would find activity like this, because it's near the city, like.
Yeah.
And then I start hearing these weird vocalizations and hearing the wood knocks and then catching these red eyes, which, you know, I've been doing research on it. Like, I've seen the raccoon eyes in the lights. Their eyes kind of come out a little more orange, in my opinion. I don't know what is...
Not like 6.5 feet in the air.
Yeah, I don't know what is causing it. And the first two ones were in a place where there really wasn't anywhere for a raccoon to be climbing up. Like the first one, definitely.
Yeah.
And when you do the size comparison, like, it looks like it has a huge head compared to mine. So, you know, I'm hoping I catch something closer and something clearer. But man, the last time I was out there, it felt uncomfortable. Like, and we caught eyes again, or I did. I was by myself. I don't know, like me and my camera, I guess But I'll have to take you guys out there sometime, though. I think you guys would.
Yeah, I'll just make sure I bring my Depends diapers again in this situation.
Looking forward to it, man.
Looking forward to it for real, man.
Yeah, because that place is something's up with that place, and it's grown special to me. Lately, I've been going to Tanny Hill because I've came across the legend of the Tanny Hill Wild Man, and yeah, the Bigfoot stuff is just as much of my passion as the paranormal and abandoned exploration. So.
Oh, absolutely, man. We trust me. We get it. Whatever you want to do, go for it. We follow a lot of your stuff, man. Sometimes we get behind depending on how our daily routines pull us. But I know for sure I caught probably the last 4 or 5 podcasts in a row. Very interesting stuff, to say the least.
No, I understand about the getting behind and everything too. Like, I'm always trying to catch up on everything. So before we close out, a couple more questions for you guys about some of these places. What do you guys think about when you find a place like that abandoned house where kind of everything's left behind? I think you guys caught the weird singing at the one with the ammo and stuff, and just like...
Up the ammo house, yeah. Alex, I mean, I mostly do all of the editing as far as just footage. Kangaroo does a lot of the social media work and stuff like that, but we kept hearing it off and on. I ran probably about 4 or 5 different filters through our editing software, and we honestly could never pick it up. It drove me insane, but I honestly could not pick anything up, and it was the weirdest damn thing that I'd ever dealt with when it came to footage.
So you heard it, but you didn't pick it up on the footage, huh?
Completely, just like, it was almost like it was on mute. Like, you could hear us, and Kangaroo actually pointed out to me, like, dude, do you hear that? As soon as I stopped, you know, obviously I don't know when to shut up sometimes, so as soon as I shut up, I started hearing it. It was just basically like a hum, da-da-da-da-da sound. We couldn't really make out any words, but we were out legitimately. I think we were probably 10 miles inside, like, nowhere. Like, there were no roads, no streets. We drove on a back dirt road to get to this spot.
Wow.
And, again, we couldn't get anything on camera itself, which is really frustrating for me.
Hey, I understand. That's what's weird about some of this stuff. There's been times where me and another person have heard similar things, like voices or something right next to us talking, things like that just didn't get picked up on the audio. And, Yeah, I don't really know how to explain that. Like, is it some kind of...
I don't either, man. Like I said, it's, this is my very first deal. I'm 30 years old, man, and I've never experienced paranormal stuff, to this amount until we started Tarac Chronicles.
Yeah. And I think it's awesome, like, going into these places, having those adventures and experiences. It's going to be a wild ride.
Yes,
Absolutely.
It sparked my interest, to say the least.
So before we close out, tell us a little bit about some future plans for you guys, and also let everyone in the chat know how they can find your stuff. I also put the links in the description, but I like
appreciate that, man.
I like for you guys to let them know as well.
Okay.
Oh man, future endeavors. We considering I've been out with a broken arm, I've done a lot of research. So, we got a couple of insane asylums coming up. Hopefully, we'll be going to New York, New Orleans. We hopefully start incorporating overnights.
Alex, that means you.
Let's do it.
It's a lot, man. We got a lot coming up.
That's great. And how can everyone find y'all's pages?
It's listed actually under the same name. Tarac Chronicles is the Facebook page. TARAC. It's the same thing as our YouTube channel. Kangaroo operates our Instagram page. What's the name of that again?
It's all Tarac Chronicles.
It's all Tarac Chronicles. See, it's pretty easy to find. At first we had ideas to throw out like different names, but we kind of agreed to make it a lot easier for everybody to find us. It's all under Tarac Chronicles.
Great, awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. It was awesome talking to you guys, and I really look forward to our next collaboration.
Oh, yeah, very much. We appreciate you having us. This is actually our first time, so we felt pretty special.
Thank you so much, man.
We really do. Big shout out to you, man, again, for obviously having us on, taking the time to give us a chance to kind of get our stuff out there. Keep up the good work on your part, man.
Yeah, I said, Spectral Wolfpack, man, you guys kick ass. Enjoy all of y'all videos. Keep putting out good stuff.
Thank you, guys. Well, you guys have a great night, and definitely hit me up as soon as you guys are back in action, and we'll make a whole day out of it, and maybe an overnight as well.
Oh yeah. If we're ending now, man, I kind of feel like we should do the patented man, the myth, the legend, Alexander Babaluski Wolfpack now, if that's allowable.
Oh, the howl? Yes, please do. Actually, everyone in the chat was saying don't forget, because there's like a couple times I forget to ask the guests to howl, and that's something we've been trying to do every time. So definitely, if you guys want to let out a big howl.
Oh, yeah.
To the Spectral Wolfpack
squad. Oh! Thank you so much for having us, man. We had a blast.
Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, I'll see you guys soon.
All right, bro.
All right, guys. Good night. All right, y'all, that was Tarac Chronicles with an awesome show. Great adventures. Definitely subscribe to them and keep an eye out. I will be doing some collaborations with them. It was really cool to hear a lot of their ideas and stories, and I really enjoyed hanging out with them and exploring. I mean, it's good to have like-minded people to hang out with, explore, and some of the crazy adventures that we have, like we said, documenting them and documenting these places, it's important. And it's dangerous, it's fun, the adrenaline rush, the adventure. And thanks to everyone who does go and sub them. So anyway, guys, before we close out, I want to mention one more time, if you've heard about our documentary Madhouse, we're going to be doing a premiere on April 6th at Madison Seminary in Madison, Ohio. We have tickets up for sale, and they're really reasonably priced as well. It's $10 to actually come and watch the movie with us, and then $65 for an investigation that's going to last until around 4 in the morning, which is going to be insane because Madison never disappoints. Like, it's seriously so awesome. So that's coming up the February 9th Alabama Bigfoot Paranormal Convention that I'll be speaking at. and then some more stuff coming up later in the summer that I'll announce later. But anyway, guys, definitely be checking out Bigfoot Bob. I got some uploads coming there. I've been really into getting into the woods. The woods are very healing for me, and just great. I'm trying to get back in shape as well. Kind of, it's like a New Year's resolution in a way. And then, of course, I got lots of experiments coming. I got my new camera, so I've been filming a lot of stuff. Trying to get around the time to edit it all and put it up and see what we hear in some of the Spirit Box sessions. But yeah, like it's been a lot for me lately, so it's coming though. It's coming. Lots of experiments with Sandy's painting that she sent me, with the Black Mirror, with the dolls, with the different Spirit Boxes. I've actually got something I'm working on where I'm showing you guys small burst sessions from a bunch of different boxes, so we can all see what each one sounds like, see what we get out of each one. And so far, it's already been pretty interesting. And then, yeah, just so much stuff in the works that it's crazy. But I love it. So, we're going to continue going. And I'm looking forward to getting together with Tarac Chronicles and doing some Abandoned Explorers together. We had a blast last time, and literally some crazy stuff happened. Like, I can't believe the sulfur and the feelings of dread and the stuff we were getting on the Spirit Box and the EVPs. It was insane. So anyway, guys, I hope everyone has a great night. Huge thanks to Tarac Chronicles, Captain Kangaroo, and Sergeant Rooster for coming on. Seriously, a great show. I really enjoyed talking to them. And I thank you guys for listening. If anyone missed any part of this, you can always go back and listen to this episode or any previous episode, as well as download them for listening to in the car or whatever you want to do. So, you can always go to the Spreaker page and find out. Also, I want to give a shout out to Landon Wells. He's actually the owner of this station, Exposing Reality Radio, that we do this on. And he's actually gotten back into his show, Out of the Shadows. So definitely check that out as well if you want more. All right, guys, thanks so much. I look forward to the next one next Wednesday with Danny from Danny Bigbeard, the creator of Echo Vox, is going to be the guest. So that's going to be really interesting to learn about some of his paranormal past and some of the new projects he's been working on. So yeah, all right, guys, thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time.